Forget your troubles, happy days. Come on, get happy, are here again. The sun above is clear again. Shout hallelujah. So let's tell the world of cheer again. Literally, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. Hacks is something that I consider to be the greatest show of all time. I've seen Sopranos. I've seen all the shows. I haven't seen The Wire. I actually haven't seen a lot of the shows that people are like, this is the best show ever, because I just don't believe you. Like, I don't believe Game of Thrones is the best show ever. I think there's probably great writing. I think there's probably interesting things about social politics, but I just, like, don't like the vibe. Sorry, I don't like the vibe. Hacks is the best show ever made. And there are going to be shows that come out after this. And I'm going to go back to this. And I'm going to tell myself, Maya, you're wrong. Hacks is the best show ever made. And if I ever forget that, I'm going to have to do myself a little rewatch. The last episode, I can't even talk about it without crying, because Jean Smart, I was introduced to Jean Smart through this show, and I have since found her work and like really fallen in love with her and like respect her. I just respect her so much, and I love her. I love her. I don't know what else to say. Like, you know what I mean? I need to calm down. I'm overreacting because I just truly feel such hard emotions in my heart. Hacks, the way that it ended it's honestly a love story. It's a love story, and it is like just exactly in line with like modern, this sounds bad, but it's like it's of the times, and at the same time it's classic. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a show that I'm just proud that it was on television at all, and it will grow and it will age like fucking wine, like wine, doll. Okay? The comedy is perfect. The storylines are perfect. The side guests are perfect. The cameos in the show are unbelievable. The writing in this show is interesting and keeps you guessing, but is warm and right. Every single time I watch this show, and that's why I'm literally emotional, because I'm literally like, this show's over. The show is over. And it's like when you develop a relationship with a show, and a show is like coming out as you are alive. Does that make sense? Like, you can't sit down and binge watch the entire show. It's not Friends, right? You can't start from season 1 to go to season 10. The show is coming out and being written in real time, and then you age with the show and you grow with the show. You develop a relationship with the show because it's a consistent thing that you do, and you grow emotionally attached to the characters. And now that thing is over, and it's the best show of all time. And I guess the only thing I can do is rewatch. Like, I'm just going to have to rewatch the whole thing. And I actually did. My HBO Max got fucked up, and I accidentally rewatched the first episode thinking it was season 5, episode 1. And it was actually really great for me because I could really see how the show started. And let me tell you something. That pilot is a pilot of all pilots. There is like a montage of her living like her like nighttime routine of like her selling out a Las Vegas arena, and then like her lifestyle, who she is, who she interacts with. And within like the first 10 minutes, you know exactly who this person is, and you're enticed with her, and you fall in love with her in 10 fucking minutes. I'm not even kidding. That is how good that pilot is. And you know what's also amazing is I feel like they could have had so many caveats with this show. They could have made Hannah Einbinder, like her character, annoying, but she's not annoying. She's like cool and like being a good person in like a non-annoying way. Like, there's so many tropes that I feel like it could have gone into, and it doesn't. And it's just some of the best writing I've ever seen in my life. Like, I just cannot tell you enough good things about this show. If you don't know about Hacks yet, let me just tell you this. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, when she was in Veep, basically every year won the Emmy. Because it's just like, yeah, this is one of the best performances of all time. It's going to win every single season. Jean Smart has basically won every single season of Hacks. They're comparable levels of, like, perfect comedy roles and that are, like, could not have been played by anyone else. And they redefine the genre. Like, that's what I'm talking about, you guys. Like, this is the level of crazy talent that I'm talking about. They are unlimited with their artistic craft and their comedy icons, okay? It's like Lucille Ball, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, fucking Jean Smart, and I could probably name 1,000 others, but you know what I'm saying. Like, the best of all time, girl. Happy times. But that's how they end the last episode, is the OG Judy Garland, Barbra Streisand cover or song of Happy Days. Oh my gosh. And then Glee did a cover of it. And then Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo did a cover of it. If you would have told me like 3 years ago, Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande are going to sing Happy Days and they're going to sing When You Believe, I would have literally been like, you're lying. You're lying to my face. There's a genie that comes into my life and grants me 3 wishes and 2 of them have come true. That's what I would have said to you. Do you know how much I rewatched the When You Believe Met Gala performance with Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, and it's shitty quality. That's how you know it's actually crazy. It's because even though it's the worst quality and it looks like it was filmed in a fucking iPod Nano, I re-listened to it over and over and over again because their talent is that thorough that it gets through the crappy fucking video of it. I love that song. I grew up listening to that song, and the fact that they sang it, the 2 best voices that we have on the planet sang it, I just, like, God is real. God's not real, but, like, I'm thankful and I'm grateful right now. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh. I saw 2 movies this week. One with my little sister, which was so much fun when she came. It was rainy as hell, so we just stayed in and watched movies. We watched The Fault in Our Stars, which actually ages like fucking wine as well. I have a wine cellar full of fucking ageless, timeless movies, and those movies are in there right alongside Monte Carlo. Monte Carlo is a timeless movie, and if I were to do Letterboxd Top 4, Monte Carlo would be in there, and it actually is better than the Hilary Duff movie. And yeah, I'm gonna say that. Monte Carlo is basically the same movie as Hilary Duff's movie in Italy, and it's better. It's actually better. You know why? Because there's 3 love stories this time. And it's actually Monte Carlo, which, like, I didn't even know what that was as a kid. And the only thing I know about Monte Carlo is Madagascar 3 and Ocean's fucking 14 or whatever the fuck, the one they do in Monte Carlo. And Monte Carlo, the movie with Selena Gomez and Leighton Meester. And Corey Monteith. And the 2 other love interests in that movie are literally some of the finest men I've ever seen in a movie. That's why it wins. That's why it wins. Is because the love stories actually have chemistry. All 3 of them are unique and dream fulfilling. And literally Corey Monteith is in that movie alongside a gorgeous blonde. I'm so sorry I don't remember her name, but like she was such a perfect fucking character in the movie, and she's gorgeous as hell and literally is a supermodel, and she's like beautiful, and she's dating Corey Monteith, and she's the only one that goes back to Texas, and Leighton Meester and this hot ass fucking Australian man that's like, once again, one of the hottest people I've ever seen in my entire life. They literally are like, oh, we're actually gonna travel the world. We're actually gonna travel the entire world as the 2 hottest people in the world, and like go to Machu Picchu and like yell, because she doesn't think about yelling because she hasn't been able to yell since her mom died. So what about that? And then we have Selena Gomez's character. I'm sorry, how does sitting on the side of a yacht watching the fireworks talking about your childhood love affair of the song La Vie en Rose against the hottest man you've ever seen in your life sound as a night for you? Because that's Selena Gomez's life in Monte Carlo. The music is good. The set design is perfect. Just everything. The opening scene, let me just tell you about the opening scene of Monte Carlo. You're listening to a song that's super cute and fun. You're listening to a song that's super cute and fun. The first clip is that it's actually the song that's playing in Selena Gomez's headphones as she's working her high school diner job. And the song that you're listening to is actually what she is listening to in her headphones. And that's how the movie starts. And if you don't think that is exactly how I, Maya Caress, would start a fucking movie, you're wrong. And you don't really know me, because that's exactly how I would start a movie. And you know that! And you know that that's true. And I think that's Selena Gomez's best work. And she's so cute in that movie. She's so cute in that movie. They're all cute. They're all cute. The fashion's great. The moment where they're all three walking down. If I could live in a movie, it would be Monte Carlo. And at the end, dude, she fucking, I truly love this movie. It is in my top 4. Literally, man, at the very end, Selena Gomez is, like, volunteering in a program in, like, a foreign country. And then this guy is, like, on a bike, and she teaches him how to whistle. And he whistles, and she realizes it's him. And she's actually a good person. What? It's crazy. And this is the type of thing that I'm like, this is what makes me me. Is that movie. And that's actually right. Art is so important. When you're going into a relationship, you know, I have dated my fair share of straight men. It's true. Sue me, I want to be wanted. I have had to endure watching car YouTube videos. I'm embarrassed right now. I've had to endure watching action movies with Mark Wahlberg. I'm embarrassed that someone would make me do that. And finally, I've had my fair share of watching even Star Wars. Yes, even one time Star Wars I was forced to watch. And I can honestly tell you that if they can't respect a movie like Monte Carlo in a real way, not in like a cute way, not in like, yeah, girl, that's for her, that's not for me, my future partner will understand the gravity and will understand why Monte Carlo is actually the perfect film. She's literally sitting in bed in a fucking robe after an everything shower watching an old movie in Monte Carlo in a suite. In white bedding, white sheets, in a robe, in a towel in her hair with probably like cucumbers under her eyes. I don't really remember. Are you stupid? And then her friend who just came from a night out gets in bed with her and watches the show, and they don't know why she's crying, and she doesn't even ask. She just knows that she has to be there for her friend. It's that movie, and it's Aquamarine. I'm gonna build my Letterboxd top 4 right now. It's Monte Carlo. It's Aquamarine. Same thing. Like JoJo and Emma Roberts and the blonde girl in it who was in like every good movie that ever came out. You 3 permanently have a tattoo on my lower back. I just want you to know that from the bottom of my heart. You guys will literally, you're my day ones. You're my sisters. Like, I don't care that you're maybe like 10 or 15 years older than me. I don't care. Like, you're my sister, and you taught me everything I know. And someday I'll raise a glass, and I will toast to you, because I'll have won some sort of accomplishment, and I'll thank you in the speech that I give. You know what I'm saying? So it's Aquamarine, it's Monte Carlo, and it's honestly White Chicks. Which that movie has the absolute pleasure of truly being, like, a cutesy, like, pink, like, aesthetic California rich kid vibe, which I love, while also being like a funny comedy. Like, I don't know, White Chicks, I think everyone can agree White Chicks is one of the best movies of all time. And yeah, so that's definitely in there because of the vibes and the soundtrack and the overall just a vibe of that movie just really aligns with me and who I am and what my allegiances lie. And then the 4th movie would be honestly Ramona and Beezus. That's crazy. I'm putting 2 Selena Gomez movies in there, but that goes along with my line of thinking that she's actually an incredible actress. And I know she went down the music pipeline, and everyone's like, we want you to do music again. I'm like, okay, you guys are in one camp and I'm in another, which is, I actually think she could win an Oscar. I actually think that her comedic timing is unbelievable, and she's actually progressed as an actor, and she's a really incredible actress. And like, I've seen Princess Protection Program, I've seen Ramona and Beezus. You're gonna sit there and you're gonna tell me that you're gonna watch Ramona and Beezus and not come away with thinking Selena Gomez is simply the most, like, I want to be her person that a girl could ever watch. I wanted to be her. I was Ramona. I was actually more Beezus. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I looked up more to Beezus, and I was more of Beezus. Ramona was a little spunky for me. I was more feminine and more embarrassed at that age. But nonetheless, like, Josh Duhamel's in that movie. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? That's why it's in the top 4. That's why it's in the top 4. It's because Selena Gomez is in that movie, and it's cute, and it's whatever. Aiden from Sex and the City is in that movie, which is cute, and it's whatever. Josh Duhamel is in that movie. Literally, that's it. That's all I need to say. That's all I actually need to say for you to understand why these movies are in my top 4. Is Josh Duhamel is in the movie. And that's all it takes, folks. That's actually all it takes. Do you guys remember the movie Safe Haven? God, I love the coloring of that movie. Do you hear me? I love the coloring of that movie. I didn't even get into the movies I wanted to talk about. Okay, with my little sister, I watched I Love Boosters, and then earlier today, I watched Backrooms. Okay. These are not equally, I don't want to say one's better than the other, but in different ways, they're terrific bouts of creativity that I truly love these films. I think these are in a way one of a kind, and let me start with I Love Boosters because I watched that first. Okay, I Love Boosters. Demi Moore did a lot with her role, and I think she made a role, and the writing's obviously terrific, like so great. I love the writing in this movie, and it was bizarre. It was honestly one of the most creative things I've ever seen in my life. That's the thing about this movie, is like the constant creativity and playing with like the aesthetic of the film and even the music, of like the bounciness of the music. I think if you constantly question the movie, you're not going to get a lot of answers, but because a lot of it is just like poppy and stylized and like bizarre on purpose. And I just loved it. I really loved it. And I don't have like all the answers. I don't know what the entire thing is about, but I know that it was about capitalism. And I know it was about like, we as a people are stronger together than we are apart. And we actually have the power because we have the majority. And it was like really revitalizing to watch something that's like, I know you feel alone and isolated because the world is so bad, but actually you're not alone. And there's a lot of people who think the world is bad. And actually, if we work together, we can change the world. And that's actually what I got from it. And back to Demi Moore, though. Demi Moore did a lot with her character that I think made her a really well-rounded villain. And like a villain that, I don't know, I just think Demi Moore was an amazing choice to play the villain in this movie. And I think it was like a really not grounded. Like, I feel like she was like a real person type of character. Like, she just had a lot of interesting choices that she made that made her feel like the exact type of person who would be like renowned as a genius, but also a moral nightmare. You know what I mean? I just think Demi Moore did a great job. I also think I love the Eric Andre cameo. I loved all the cameos in this movie. I think Keke Palmer playing this role was perfect. I saw an interview before I watched it of like, Keke Palmer usually plays like Keke Palmer can do anything. So normally you give her the hardest role in the movie, which is like to be the audience's way of connecting in the movie. But in this movie, she's kind of playing a different role, and she's kind of more down on life, and we usually know Keke Palmer as like the positive one, and like, I don't know, like she is like the life of the party. She's the light in the room, and in this role she's a little darker, and there's other characters that are like the light of the movie. The way that the director used music in this film was one of my favorite ways I've ever seen music be used in a film. It was like it just matched the tone. I want 1,000 more movies like this movie. Do you know what I'm saying? The originality, the one-of-a-kindness, creativity in every sense of the movie. It's just, everything was just like stylized and intentional and detailed and like perfect. And I love movies like that. I want more original movies, more absurdist movies, more movies that are like endlessly interesting and detailed and prophetic. I want more movies like that. So it was a 10 out of 10 for me personally. Then I watched Backrooms. Backrooms was phenomenal, and anyone saying it's not phenomenal, they're literally just wrong. Like, Backrooms was incredible. I loved the aesthetic of this movie. I loved it. Okay, I'm gonna be so for real with you right now. I went to the theater and I watched Five Nights at Freddy's with Josh Hutcherson. And I had a fun time. You know, it was fun. I went with my friends and, like, it was fun watching Josh Hutcherson on screen. And, like, yeah. I was thinking that Backrooms was going to be kind of in the same vibe as the Five Nights at Freddy's. Like, taking an internet game or, like, internet thing and then making a movie out of it. Five Nights at Freddy's is a relatively, like, a B-rated horror movie. That's maybe a little harsh, but it's definitely not an A+. Like, if Get Out and, like, Us and the Jordan Peele movies and, like, The Shining are literally go fucking horror movies, Five Nights at Freddy's is gonna fall a little lower. And I did like the movie, but it wasn't, like, the best movie I've ever seen. Backrooms, I think, is literally in the GOAT level movies. I would be surprised if they didn't make it a franchise. And I would love if they didn't. And I also would love if they did, because I would see a second one. And it left enough at the end that they could totally do more with it. And there's, like, so much backroom stuff that they could make endless movies with it. I don't know if they will, though, because it is such a good movie. It's like making The Shining 2. It's like you don't mess with a classic. But if they do, I could also be like, you know what? That's what horror movies do. It's like The Hangover. It's like, you really think there wasn't going to be a second one, bitch? If they can, they usually do. So, Backrooms, I think the acting was phenomenal. The storyline was actually really creative and good. And the way that they shot the movie is, like, some of it is on, like, a blurry camera, a blurry, like, digicam. And then most of it is this, like, extremely sharp, clear camera. And it's done. I literally, I don't know what else to say besides, like, the director of this movie is going to be the biggest director fucking ever in the fucking universe, bitch. The way that the Backrooms used anticipation in a horror movie is like one of the most important parts of a horror movie is, can they do anticipation well? This movie did it so well. It actually did have scary moments, and the entire thing is a very scary concept. And the thing about the Backrooms is, like, they explained it so well in the movie. And I just feel like what I'm really trying to say is, like, this format could have been so bad. You know what I mean? Like, they could have made a stupid story that didn't make any sense and, like, had stupid moments. And the backgrounds could have been, like, just a really shitty thing. You know what I'm saying? The fact that it's actually completely its own thing and they made an incredibly tasteful, well done horror movie that's going in the level of, like, it's a classic now with the idea means they, like, have a true creative sense and, like, are true artists. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like a money milking machine. It was like a true art. And this horror movie was excellent. Like, literally the entire time I was like, this is terrific. This choice is terrific. This is a terrific movie. I would watch the movie again. Like, and I don't even say that about any movies. I would watch Backrooms again. And I think the explanation, thank God they give you a little explanation of the Backrooms, because I thought for a majority of the movie, you have no idea what the fuck is happening. And I love that. And I thought that's how they were going to leave it. It's like, there's just this mysterious place, la la la, we all die in there, bye. But they actually made it into something that's like, no, it's a place that, like, people build from memory, so it's never quite right. It's all like 7 or 8 times. Like, if you, it's like the idea of, like, every time you remember something, you remember it a little worse. Every time you retell that thing. Like, every time you retell, let me say this, okay. the idea of the backrooms is like every time that you retell a story from like your childhood or something, it changes a little bit, or it's like a game of telephone but with like every time that it's recommunicated, something is like added or taken away to make it heightened, or it's misremembered a little bit every single time. It just keeps chipping away your memory. And that's the way this place is built, is like it's like a memory of a memory of a memory of a office building. And I thought that was so well communicated in the movie, and that's not an easy thing to communicate, that concept. And they did such an incredible job of actually having the audience understand how much of a nightmare this situation actually could be through like the endless bouts of your brain. And like I just really loved the fact that they put my favorite fucking person, dude, Mark Duplass, in it from I'm a Creep, I'm a Weirdo, which if you've listened to this podcast long enough from the beginning, you know that Creep is in my Letterboxd top 4, meaning it's my favorite horror movie. It's like The Shining and Creep are my favorites. I think about The Shining every single day. I'm not kidding. But the way that men say that they think about the Roman Empire, which isn't actually real, is the way that I actually think about The Shining, which is actually real. I think about The Shining every single day. And I literally, like, every time, like, I listen to music, and the entire music video is basically like an edit of The Shining in my head. It's my Roman Empire. And I know that's like such a 2024 thing to say, but it's the truth. That's the same thing with The Creep. It's not The Creep, it's just called Creep. But this movie is so funny. This movie is so funny. It's funny because of how uncomfortable it is. And uncomfortability is horrific. Uncomfortability is so horrific that people can't handle it, and they will do anything to fill an awkward silence or people please to get out of it. People they don't make choices in life because they don't want to be uncomfortable. And so it's actually the most horrific thing and the most funny thing. It's like the double mask of tragedy and comedy. That is uncomfortability. And Mark Duplass understands that. And the fact that he was in this movie, I'm just like, Andy Richter, you get a fucking Academy Award for your excellent taste in The Obsession. And Mark Duplass, you get an Academy Award for being in Backrooms. He was just enough in the movie that it was like powerful for me. You know what I mean? We are in such a great time in terms of art. I'm constantly saying that, but it's the fucking truth. Like, we are going to look back on this year of 2026 as just like an excellent year of art. I mean, we're going through a recession and a Holocaust right now. We should have good art. You know what I mean? That's the trade-off, is with pain comes people using that pain for good, and that's what art is. So clock that. Bitch. Okay. But having Obsession and having Backrooms come out back to back, I'm like, we are in such a great time for horror. And horror is my favorite genre. When it's done well, it changes my life. It literally does, and it becomes my favorite movie when horror is done well. That's why it's my favorite genre, is because I think it has the most potential, and I just love horror. I love it. We've had such great horror, like actually great, like actually GOAT level classic horror films come out back to back, and it's been such a pleasure. It's been a pleasure being an A-list AMC member. Oh, there's a movie I want to talk about. This movie, I forget what it's called. But it's a movie with Sally Fields and the guy from fucking... Oh my god, I can't think of the names of anything right now. There was this really hot guy named Bill, and he had a son. And he's in this movie with Sally Field, and he's so hot. And his dad's hot. And it's like, can we recreate the movie Challengers with his dad and his son and me? That's gross. That's incestuous. But what I'm trying to say is, like, baby, if I'm being completely honest with you, I'll take the dad or I'll take the son. I'll take either. Okay? He's so hot in this movie, and he's so lovable. And just thinking about him, my heart is a flutter. And my like, he's the type of person that, like, you put posters up in your bedroom of. You know what I mean? He's just a dreamy guy. He's just a dream. And he was in Top Gun as, like, this nerdy guy. I never watched Top Gun Maverick because that's just not my thing. But I heard it was revolutionary, according to everyone else. But I don't believe it. I believe in Miles Teller being shirtless on the beach covered in oil. I don't believe in anything else that's said about this movie. But, he's in that movie wearing glasses, and I'm like, you don't really notice him because he's standing next to Miles Teller, who's not wearing glasses that make his eyes look 4 times the size. Then he's in this movie, and I'm like, okay, well, you're dating the fucking hottest woman alive, so there better be something to you. And there is, and I'm like, girl, I get it. Like, he is so personable, he's so charismatic. Even though he's a nepo baby, he feels like the most grounded person in the fucking room. And him and Sally Field were such an incredible duo. I'm kind of shocked that they put them together because it's so perfect, but it's so kind of like not the first 2 people you would think of to put together. And they have incredible chemistry, and it just goes to show you because he's actually a good person. And it's like, that's a parasocial thing to say, but it's the truth. It's like, you can feel authenticity, you can feel when someone's genuine, and he's a genuine type of guy. And that's what's so attractive about him. And he was also, I've seen him do some stuff with Jake Shane, and I'm just a big fan of his work in those interviews. And, yeah, like, I just have a crush. There's this Ella Fitzgerald song called I Have a Crush on You, and it's one of my favorite Ella Fitzgerald songs. For some reason, I've listened to Ella Fitzgerald as a little girl all the fucking time. It's one of my first memories is listening to Ella Fitzgerald and Louis Armstrong. And I only had 4 songs downloaded on my iPod, like my actual like clip-on, no-screen iPod. And I had La Vie en Rose. I had Dream a Little Dream of Me with Ella Fitzgerald and Louis Armstrong. I had I've Got a Crush on You. And then I had this song called Sis Wonderful. And the song I've Got a Crush on You is literally how I feel. Like, is how I feel when I look at this guy. And I don't remember his name. Let me remind you. But you just gotta trust and believe he's in this movie about octopi, and Sally Field. And he's really hot. Spoiler alert, he's the grandson to Sally Field's grandmother. And the octopus the whole time is like this fucking sidekick guy that knows exactly what's going on and is smarter than humans. But you just gotta trust and believe it's actually a gorgeous film. And I'm like, this is what I want to see. Give me what I want to see. I want to see Sally Field and this really hot guy in a movie together. And that's what I want to see. And I want to see 1,000 more I Love Boosters. And I want to see 1,000 more Backrooms. And I want to see 1,000 more Obsessions. And I want to see 1,000 more Olivia Rodrigo fucking albums. Because right now, I can't stop listening to... She's doing interviews, and I'm like, thank God. Once again, give the people what they want. I want Olivia Rodrigo interviews. And I just love her, and I'll always love her, and she's the love of my life. And I just, like, completely understand her in a way that no one else understands her. And that's what's crazy is I mean that. I actually mean that. And you can tell me, like, Maya, everyone thinks that Olivia Rodrigo is their best friend. You're not special. But actually, if I met her in real life, we would be friends. Actually, I just think she's the most fucking punk rock ass bitch in the fucking world, bitch. And she's talented. And she's prophetic. And she's literally like the Sofia Coppola of songwriters. Well, is Lana Del Rey the Sofia Coppola of songwriters? Maybe. I mean, they're all so different. But just in terms of like, she is like a pivotal, iconic figure expressing like femininity and girlhood and womanhood. Is like, she's just one of the all-time greats is really what I'm trying to say. Okay, bye.